don't forget to pound that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Welcome back, everybody. Rusty Hammer Forge. It's kind of chilly in the shop. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be making this knife right here. What we're going to be using today is this 1075. It's 3/16 inch thick. The blade itself, the cutting edge, has to be right around 6 inches. We're going to be taking 6 inches of this and then forging out an almost 12-inch knife. So let's get the forge started and get busy.
Alright, here we go, folks. We have our 6-inch piece of steel here cut. We're going to be forging in the tip first. We're going to come down on the vertical and then hit the horizontal so we can make sure that we're upsetting this evenly. We don't want any inclusions built into the edge side or even the spine side, so that's why we keep coming back and forth between the vertical and the horizontal. And you can see we're starting to form some fish lips there. Right now we're going to take those fish lips out by upsetting with the 1 pound half ball hammer right there on the front of it. It allows me to get in there with a smaller surface area on that face of that hammer. It allows me to get down and really kind of finesse those fish lips back into themselves. We got them pretty well set. Tips up, pretty well set. We're going to come down here and we're going to start lengthening our piece here so we can put our tang into the blade. We're just coming down with a 3 pound rounding hammer, just a workhorse hammer, and just upsetting that down for a workable length. Alright, here we're on the horn, forming the rear finger groove right up next to the pommel. We're going to form the front finger groove, which is also going to help us isolate the ricasso here in a little bit. We're also isolating steel. You'll see that little peak in there. That'll be the handle belly. We're going to continue to refine this and upset it, both of these grooves down, and to help add steel, bring that steel down to thicken it up so that we can draw this out in length. And also that allows us to isolate that peak there you're looking at to form our handle belly. We're back over here on the horn, doing just the same thing we've been doing, really coming down hard, trying to isolate that handle belly, that peak at the moment right now, and really form our front and back finger grooves. Now we're going to be coming down, we're going to upset that peak down into just what amounts to a hill, and going back and forth between the vertical and the horizontal. Every time we come down on the vertical, we're thickening the steel. Every time we come on the horizontal, we're lengthening the steel. Right now, we're upsetting on the pommel, putting a little more steel there into the bottom side of the pommel towards the back finger groove, so that as we lengthen it, we're not losing thickness. We're going to keep a relative thickness all the way through it. Now, once again, we're on the spine side, coming down on the top of the pommel and the back of the pommel to help form, kind of round it out. Create a nice little catch back there that fits really nice in the hand. It's not going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to bite into your hand at all. We're thickening from the spine side. We did a lot of thickening and forging from the edge side of the blade. Now we're coming down on the spine side to kind of even out the thickness of that handle and lengthen it out. Now we're going to come down on the edge side with a 6 pound short sledge to help lengthen this blade so we can get to that 6 inches, because we have to put a ricasso and a sharpening choil into this blade as well. Now all that work we just did for upsetting with the sledgehammer is now we're taking all that and lengthening it with the flat dies on the press. And you're going to start to see it banana here a little bit. You can see it right now as it's kind of bananaed out, and we're going to kind of take and flatten that out on the vertical. That is the actual visual process of the steel lengthening, because it's thinner on one side than it is on the other, and that thick side is pushing against that thin side and creating that banana effect. You can see here where we've isolated our ricasso, right there where the blade starts. That's also where we're going to put a sharpening choil. And the ricasso is just a break between the handle and the blade itself. Now we're going to further refine our finger grooves here along with our handle belly, and we're just going to continue to work this and really refine it out, get that profile set. It's still really, really thick, so we're going to be coming here and now we're going to lengthen this blade out, working on the tip here. We're going to put a clip in here. It's an angle off the original plane. You can see it right going in right there. That's a nice little clip. Now that is because there's a lot of steel in here that we're going to be planishing out with our dog's head, and I want that tip to not really banana out. So I offset it with a down angle, so that when I come back on the blade, the edge side, what's going to happen is that's going to just pull it right back straight, and you'll see it here as we start working on this blade. We're coming down a little bit there on the edge, and what we're really trying to do right now is work on the recurve part of the Recurve Hunter, and that's that kind of flowing angle you see right there. And we're coming in with the dog's head right now, like I was talking about. That clip is going to start disappearing, and we're going to get a little bit of an overshoot on the backside, on the spine side, but that's an easy fix. You just come down on the vertical, and which you'll see here in a minute, and we'll straighten that all back out. It'll be nice and straight. Now these aren't forging blows. These are planishing blows. I'm just picking that hammer up and letting it kind of fall. There's not a lot of power into it. You can still see it kind of a bow on the spine side there. We're going to end up taking that out here pretty soon. Right here, we take it out nice and straight. And we're almost done with this. Right now, we got to put our maker's mark in it, what we're doing right now. Now, I didn't quite get a good hit on this first time, so I reset my stamp, which is not always a good thing. You can take a chance of having a double stamp, and then you're pretty much starting over if you're not thick enough to grind it out and start over that way with the same piece. So I was able to get it reset in there, and you'll see this nice crisp stamp mark come out. That's just a beautiful, beautiful stamp. But we still have a little bit of a clip left in there, but that's okay. We do have to come down a little bit on that nose, but essentially this is ready to go. Work on the next part of this build, which is grinding and handle assembly.